On October 5, 1944, Marshal Ivan Bagramian opened the offensive against Erhard Raus's 3rd Panzer Army on a 60-mile front, concentrating his breakthrough force against the relatively weak 551st Grenadier Division. The division collapsed on the first day, and a 10-mile penetration was achieved. Bagramian then sent the 5th Guards Tank Army through the breach, aiming for the coast to the north of Memel. There was a general collapse of the 3rd Panzer Army's positions by the 7th of October, and a penetration further south by the Soviet 43rd Army, and within 2 days they had reached the coast south of Memel, while Vasily Volsky had encircled the town from the north. In the south, the northern flank of the 3rd Belarusian front was advancing on the German town of Tilsit, which is now called Sovetsk, in Russia's Kaliningrad Oblast. The 3rd Panzer Army's headquarters were overrun by the 5th Guards Tank Army, and Raus and his staff had to fight their way into Memel. The neighboring army group commander, Ferdinand Schorner, signaled on October 9 that he would mount an attack to relieve Memel if troops spared by evacuating Riga. A decision on this matter was delayed, but there, Kriegsmarine managed to withdraw most of the garrison and some civilians from the port in the meantime. The German 28th Corps under General Hans Skolnick held a defensive line around the town itself. The success of the offensive in the northern sector encouraged the Soviet command to authorize the 3rd Belarusian front to attempt to break through into the main region of East Prussia. This offensive, the Gumbinnen operation, ran into extremely strong German resistance and was stopped within a few days. The stalling of the Gumbinnen operation meant that Soviet forces, mainly from the 43rd Army, settled down to a blockade of the German troops that had withdrawn into Memel. The German forces, largely made up of elements from the Grossdeutschland and 58th Infantry Divisions and the 7th Panzer Division, was aided by heavily fortified tactical defenses, artillery fire from ships, including their Prinz Eugen, in the Baltic, and an extremely tenuous connection with the remainder of East Prussia through the Curonian Spit. The blockade and defense was maintained through November and December of 1944, and most of January 1945, during which period the wounded soldiers and remaining civilians who had fled into Memel were evacuated by sea. During this time, the Grossdeutschland and 7th Panzer divisions withdrew, having suffered heavy losses, and were replaced by the 95th Infantry Division, which arrived by sea. The town was abandoned on Saturday, January 27, 1945. The success of the Soviet East Prussian offensive to the south made the position of the bridgehead untenable, and it was decided to withdraw the 28th Corps from the Memel to Samland to assist in the defense there. The remaining troops of the 95th and 58th Infantry Divisions were evacuated to the Curonian Spit, where the 58th Division acted as a rearguard for the withdrawal. The last organized German units left at 4 a.m. on January 28, with Soviet units capturing the harbor a few hours later. Memel had been part of Lithuania between 1923 and 1939 prior to being reincorporated into Germany. It was transferred to the Lithuanian Soviet Socialist Republic after the surrender of Germany in May 1945. In 1947 it was officially renamed using the Lithuanian name of Klaipėda.